I'm Kaylee, and today I'm going to tell you about all the books that I read in June. I read quite a lot in June. I read 48 books. Keep in mind that 25 of those were children's picture books. 5 were graphic novels. I read 2 classics, 11 nonfiction, and 5 middle grade. So without further ado, let's jump straight in. I always like to start with the classics because I know you guys love to hear about the classics, and I usually end up talking a lot about the classics. So we'll get through those first. I read books 4 and 5 of the Anne of Green Gables series by Elan Montgomery. I read Anne of Windy Poplars. In this one, Gilbert is still finishing medical school, and so Anne becomes the principal of a high school. The snobby Pringle clan are making her life difficult, and her Pringle students all misbehave in class until Anne can find the secret to win them over. I never get tired of reading these wholesome books. Even without the love interest hanging in the balance for Anne and Gilbert, they're engaged now, so kind of that love story has reached almost its conclusion. This book is still so full of fun and heartache, and it never gets boring. Each character is lively and unique. I love Rebecca Dew and Aunt Chatty and Aunt Kate, and all these characters are so cute. They're really funny and they're very sweet. I love little Elizabeth's character. Her story arc is so interesting in this book. I only wish that we saw more of Gilbert. Anne and Gilbert are in a long-distance relationship through this book, and really Gilbert only has one scene. In the entire book, we only see Gilbert once when they get together at Christmas, and that's it. I love how Anne sort of tries meddling in other people's lives, sometimes with good results and she really helps people, and sometimes it ends in complete disaster. She is still full of that spunk and mischief that she had when she was a little girl, but now it is tempered with a little more maturity and some wisdom. I gave this book 5 out of 5 stars, 5 stars forever. I love Anne. And I also read Anne's House of Dreams. In this book, Anne and Gilbert are married. They settle into their first home while Gilbert starts his medical practice. They befriend their new neighbors, Captain Jim and Leslie Moore and Miss Cornelia. Captain Jim tells them fascinating stories about his adventures at sea. And Miss Cornelia hates men and criticizes them mercilessly. And Leslie Moore has a tragic life and her heart is very bitter. Each of these people find solace and compassion in their friendship with Anne and Gilbert. They really form strong friendships that help them to weather the storms of life. I love this 5th book, but it is more serious than a lot of the other books in the series. There is more tragedy, but there's also beauty and adventure and humor as well. As Anne grows older, the timbre of her life changes, and that is reflected in this book. One of the things I enjoy in this book is the closer look at the relationship between Anne and Gilbert. Their joyful love and their easy friendship just shines on every page. I always give this one 5 stars. I read Fire, which is the 7th and last book in the Septimus Heap series by Angie Sage. At long last, the wizards in this book are preparing to destroy the evil two-faced ring and all the dark magic that is contained in the ring. But first they have to kindle the ancient alchemical fire. And only Marcellus knows where the old alchemy chamber is, where the fire can be lit. I loved this book. The plot is full of action and magic and twists. I adore the characters. I love how they grow and learn and work together. There are so many hilarious details in this book. It made it really fun to read. Each character has a unique relationship with all of the others, and I loved the complex dynamics between their relationships. I really love the world building and the history that is resolved in this last book in the series. There are old legends and ancient spells that are unearthed after centuries in the dust. I just adore this whole series. The intertwined plots are so complex and imaginative. It's really good storytelling, and the writing style puts the reader right into the middle of the action, and it tugs at your heartstrings. I gave this one 4 out of 5 stars. As part of my Try a Chapter challenge, I read The Rising Star of Rusty Nail. Franny is a piano prodigy in a backwards country town. And when a mysterious Russian musician arrives, Franny begs her to give her piano lessons. I was not impressed with this book. As a piano teacher myself, I was hoping for something more, but it was just pretty basic. Most of this book is about the townspeople and their little country lives. I mostly skimmed through the book until I finally got to a scene where Franny is having a piano lesson or she's entering a piano competition, and there's actually something about the music. But even then, the music scenes were nothing special. I gave it 3 stars. I read volumes 2, 3, 4, and 5 of Silverspoon. I know I'm gonna say these Japanese names wrong, but I'm just gonna say it wrong, like an American would do. Hachiken attends an agricultural high school, even though he has no interest in pursuing an agricultural career. This manga is so hilarious. The characters are fun, some of them are really silly. Hachiken gets closer to his friends, he learns more about his school. He earns the respect of his teachers. I really love his character development through each of these volumes. And I especially love the dynamics between the characters and the friendships that grow there. I just enjoy this so much. I'm gonna continue reading the rest of the volumes. It's just adorable, and I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. All of the following books are books that I received from publishers in exchange for a free and honest review. I read 2 books in the Elan Chronicles by J.M. Bergen. I read a short story prequel called The First Crystal. This short story follows the villains in the Elan series. Arius and Ariana are searching for a mysterious crystal, and they have to get past booby traps in an ancient temple cave place. There really wasn't much to the story other than getting past the booby traps in the cave. I just wish the story had more meat on its bones. It's really kind of too short to actually have a story arc. But then I read the second book in the series, which I've already read the first book, obviously, but now I'm on to the second book, Thomas Wildus and the Wizard of Sumeria. Thomas and his magical friends are determined to stop the evil Arius before he can find the Staff of Great Power and use it to destroy everything they hold dear. A mysterious monster is stalking them, so Thomas's teacher Scott accelerates their training of their magic abilities and their fighting techniques. I enjoyed this book so much. The magic system is marvelous, the plot is brilliant, the characters are really deep and endearing. I loved the world building, I loved the history of the magic, but the absolute best thing about this book is the characters and their relationships with one another. I love Thomas's relationships with his best friends. They tease each other, and their banter is just priceless. It's so fun, and it just shows the closeness that they share. I feel like they're real people because there are so many great details in their friendship. I love their character development through both of the books so far in this series, and I gave the second book 4 out of 5 stars. Then I read The Elephant by Peter Carnavas? Anyway, I read The Elephant. Olive imagines that her father's sadness is like a gray elephant that follows him around and weighs him down. She enlists the help of her best friend and her grandfather to figure out how to chase away that depressing elephant. And they have to brainstorm how to cheer her father up. I am so impressed with this very sweet and thoughtful middle grade novel. I just fell in love with Olive. She's observant and really kind and introspective. Despite the serious themes in this book, it's really silly and fun at times. I really liked the simple artwork and the illustrations too. There is a beautiful plot twist right at the end that is just so perfect. It had me amazed. Like, it just fit in so perfectly, and it surprised me, and I was just like, yes, oh, that's the thing. You did the thing. Yes. Everything in this book is woven together perfectly for a beautiful, a powerful, and interesting story. I read volume 12 of Phoebe and Her Unicorn, The Virtual Unicorn Experience. Phoebe is best friends with a unicorn named Marigold, and I love the fun camaraderie that these two share. They are such cute friends, and I love how they banter back and forth. Their dialogue is really funny and silly. This comic is organized into panels, kind of like a web comic. So you have these little snippets of jokes and one-liners. I really like the format and how the humor pulls these different storylines together. I would love to read more from this comic. It is lighthearted and delightful. I read Inner Peace, a guided meditation journal for beginners. This book has guided meditations and mantras and inspirational quotes, and it leads the reader into a more peaceful mindset, full of gratitude and joy. There are journal prompts that explore deep ideas and emotions. The writing is really encouraging and gentle. I just love how the author softly draws you into a place of quiet reflection. I gave it 4 stars. I read Actually, the Comma Goes Here, a practical guide to punctuation. So in case you missed it in elementary school, here are the rules for punctuation. The best thing about this book is the comedic writing style. The author uses humor to make the rules of punctuation fun and memorable. I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. I read Keep What You Love, a visual decluttering guide. This book lists a bunch of things that you might want to declutter, and it asks the question, do I really need this? The illustrations are what make this book really special and cute. There are these little whimsical drawings of each item in the list. It's really sweet. I love that the focus of this book is on what you want to keep, not on what you're throwing away. The whole attitude toward decluttering is very purposeful. And that's what minimalism really is, being intentional about your possessions. I gave this 5 out of 5 stars, and then I promptly gifted it to my mom, who is currently decluttering some things, and she loved it. I read a book that takes its time, an unhurried adventure in creative mindfulness. This beautiful book has postcards and stickers and small posters and removable little booklet journals and just a dozen other adorable things included. You can write lists and read poetry and make a collage. You can write in your thoughts and learn to do creative hand lettering. There are articles about following your dreams and letting go of stress, reaching out in kindness and slowing down and being more creative. This book just blew me away. It's really, really special. I don't think I've ever seen anything quite like this ever. It's really beautiful, and I gave it 5 stars. I read When the World Feels Like a Scary Place, Essential Conversations for Anxious Parents and Worried Kids. This book has some good ideas about talking to your kids about difficult subjects in a calm and productive manner. It has techniques for diffusing anger with compassion and managing stress and anxiety when your children are confronted with scary and difficult things. However, I really didn't like that the author was pushing the politics and a leftist worldview, and so I ended up giving it 2 out of 5 stars. I read Origami City, 75 Models to Fold and Build. This kit has everything you need to create an origami paper city. There are pre-printed papers and a book with very detailed instructions. And you can fold 75 different elements in this city. There are buildings and vehicles and trees and even animals. I gave this kit 5 stars. And I reviewed Paint by Sticker Dogs. I love the clever designs and the beautiful colors in this Paint by Sticker book. This is perfect for any time that you have some anxiety and just need a calm activity. I gave it 5 stars. I read the English Grammar Workbook for Adults. This book is designed to help non-native English speakers to perfect their English grammar and navigate the many exceptions to grammar rules while speaking and writing English. This instruction goes way beyond the old I before E except after C kind of rules. It addresses common pitfalls and mistakes that people make while learning English. I really loved how this book is designed, and I gave it 4 stars. I read the Family Tree Workbook, 30 step-by-step worksheets to build your family history. If you are doing any kind of genealogy research, I don't know why that was so hard all of a sudden. Genealogy, I can say it. I know how to say words. Genealogy research. This book will help you to organize the information and catalog the facts and track things on worksheets. I do love a good worksheet, but this book just takes it to the next level. There are charts and records and timelines and maps and trackers. There's logs and medical history and just tons of cool stuff. My little organizational heart is so happy. I gave this book 4 stars. And I read a couple of cookbooks. I read the Dairy-Free Meal Prep, Easy Budget-Friendly Meals to Cook, Prep, Grab, and Go. And I gave this 4 stars, really good recipes. And I read the Budget-Friendly Vegan Cookbook, Healthy Meals for a Plant-Based Diet. And I also gave this one 4 stars because I feel like it has some really interesting approaches to classic vegan recipes. And here come all the picture books. I am running out of time, and so I'm just gonna say the titles of all of these. All of these got 4 or 5 stars. I don't think there was a single one in the whole bunch that I did not absolutely adore. I actually just have a list listing off all of these picture books. So I'm just gonna read them out to you, show you the picture. These are all wonderful. I mean, these are all like blow my mind. This is such a beautiful picture book. I can't wait to share this with the kids in my life, my nieces. I can't wait to read these together. All of these are amazing. The Princess Pistachio Treasury, Timo's Garden, Timo's Party, and Timo Goes Camping. Al Galope, Baby Let's Eat or Bebé Vamos a Comer, Hello Farm o La Granja, Let's Be Kind, Let's Go Outside, Love You Baby, Te Amo Bebé. The Belly Button Book, El Libro del Ombligo, Snuggle Puppy, Cachorro Cariñoso, Barnyard Dance, Danza del Corral, ABC Dance, an Animal Alphabet, Goodnight Baboon, a bedtime counting book, Welcome to Jazz, a swing-along celebration of America's music featuring When the Saints Go Marching In. Maisie Gets a Pet. That Dog. Florence and Her Fantastic Family Tree. Dear Moon. The Runaway Shirt. Santa.com. Snoozapalooza. Proud to be Latino. Food Comida. No matter what, a foster care tale. And those are the 48 books that I read in June. Please leave me a comment down below and let me know what was your favorite book that you read in June. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe and remember, the right book in the right hands at the right time can change the world.